한별튜브.
The air inlet is a very important part. Also for your country, you need a good ventilation system for all weather conditions, warm summers, cold winters, young animals, old animals, they all have different requirements. So when people think about innovation, they always think about big, sexy innovation of controllers and high-level things.
Sure.
Sometimes the big innovation is in small things, like the air inlet system. This is necessary to get fresh air into the building. And there are a few challenges. One challenge can be that the air doesn't go into the building far enough to reach all the animals. You have cold air drop, that is very dangerous for animals. Or there is more humidity and therefore also more ammonia buildup. What we did is we made an innovation. In the absolute minimum, there's only a small opening in the top. If you maybe put the camera high, you can see it from there. That means that when you're in the beginning, when you only need a little bit of ventilation, the air is bundled. It's not over the whole length, but only here in the middle part. And that means that you get the air further into the building and you get a nice distribution and all the animals get fresh air. And it removes also all the CO2, ammonia and the bad things you don't want. It is operated by our winch, the actuator. It has a special setting because maybe 10% opening is not the same as 10% capacity. So there is special intelligence here that manages the right opening. Now, this, as you can see, there is a rubber around the sides.
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah. With that rubber, we seal it off, so there's no cold air leak. And especially also in your climate, you can have cold winters.
Yeah.
This is important. So if it's closed, it's really closed. Now, it's also special insulated material, so this you can use up to, we say, minus 35 degrees. It should be possible to use this. We even have them in Siberia.
Yeah.
So if it works there, it also works in South Korea.
Sure.
The same principle, we also expanded to other inlets. So this one is for, I will open it slowly. This one is for poultry, for chickens. If you have a cage system or if you have a nesting system, with this one, in the beginning, small opening. Same principle, the air is nicely bundled. And if it opens further, you can see here gradually the air will come in bigger volume.
How about the piglets? We can adapt this one for piglets.
For piglets, I would say you can use this one, or depending on how the air comes into the building, the ceiling one. We'll take a look at that as well. This one, if you work with poultry cage balance, you can also change these valves, these lamella. So you can direct the air even more precisely. If you install the building, you can check, is the cage here or there? So you can do some fine tuning. Then we have the additional one, the big fellow. This is a new one. And again, in the beginning, very small opening.
Also the part of the innovations, right?
Yep. So in a big building, if you have a lot of tunnel ventilation, in the beginning, you can use this. Normally, people have to install also a small one and a big one, not necessary here. Also, this one is nicely sealed off in the sides, so no cold air leak. So this one is perfect, especially for poultry buildings and for parts in the world where they use tunnel ventilation for pig buildings. The seating inlet, same principle you can also see here. Small opening in the beginning, so the air will go nicely circulating instead of falling down. In a traditional seating inlet, maybe 80-60%. If it goes up more, then the air drops down. This one goes much more when you go, I think, up to maybe 25% open, then it starts dropping down. But that's a hot day, and then you want the air to go down. Until that point, you still get a nice mix of air, and that's very important. And yeah, you've used it already, so I don't have to convince you. You know that that works very nice.